So in terms of proposition, we've introduced something called leverage. Now this is not a new concept for corporate finance, but very new for personal finance. I'm sure most of your clients, those who are entrepreneurs into business, manufacturers, they typically tell you that I can earn 14% for my business, right? So they use this concept in their business. For example, let's say they have 100 rupees capital with them. They deploy this capital for the business and they start earning, let's say, 14% returns on their capital. At some stage, they get a confidence that I can get 14%, but now there's limitation of capital. So that is where they go and approach the bank and take, let's say, 20 rupees loan. Now his capital is 120 rupees and he can get 14% on his 120 rupees capital, right? So even if you deduct that interest that is paid on the interest loan that is taken, the additional returns, if you add to his overall capital, I think around 1% is the additional yield he gets. So this is very common for corporate finance, which you must have experienced. But can we use the same concept for personal finance? The answer is yes. But there are three principles which I think one should follow. First is, whenever you invest money after taking the loan, the returns probably should be higher. So when you invest into a particular product, you should get returns with high probability. Secondly, the difference between the returns what you get and the interest that pay should be substantial difference. That's the second thing. And third, you should restrict yourself to 20%. Now, if you apply this to our business, I think structured product fits the bill. You all know structured product give returns about 85% probability, right? The difference is 4.5 to 4.5%. That's a substantial difference, and you can restrict yourself to 20%. So, if you use this in a business, see the benefit that you get. So, for a partner, this can be a client retention tool. So if you increase his yield, your client will stay with you for a long period of time. That's the first benefit. You get higher AUM because now it's not 100, it is 120 rupees that you get from the client. Third, obviously you get more revenue because it's 120 rupees on which you paid commission. And obviously this can use as a new client acquisition. So you can go to the new client and tell them then how it is important for you, and you can use this as a unique feature to acquire the new client. So in this segment, if you look at it, what have you achieved? So look at last year, our total SP business, 17% came from leverage product. If you look at the leverage product SP average, it is more than 1 crore. 1.3 crores is the average that we could get from the leverage. And of course, we got 91% from the existing clients, but we could also get 9% new clients. So I was talking about new client acquisition. This is what actually proved last financial year.